What's up, guys? It is John from Side Hustle Experiment. Today's video, giving a business update. I know it's been a minute. Didn't do any videos last week except for Amazon FBA Happy Hour with Muscarello, which was awesome, with Chris Grant. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. You're not going to see it in the main feed. You'll have to hit live, and it's in there. There's also like another 7 or 8 that we've done. So yeah, let's just get into it. Been pretty crazy. I'm trying to even think. So basically, I'm in the process of looking for another virtual assistant to assist with sourcing / admin work. The first one did not work out, unfortunately. We trained for about 3 or 4 weeks. And while that's not a ton of time, there's just some things that, based from prior experience, I just knew that it just wasn't going to work. Just making same mistakes, coming to the table with nothing. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. They just be like, yeah, I didn't find anything. And while, yeah, if you're brand new, and I get that, but bring like 1 or 2 like cruddy leads to the table, or not so good leads. Like, just don't show up with nothing. That happened a bunch of times, and at this point, you know, I just kind of knew that it wasn't going to work. They were saying that they were working like 10 or 12 hours. It was just kind of a mess. It was super stressful. One of the things, in my opinion, you really want to make sure that when you hire anyone for your business, whether it's a virtual assistant or someone to help you with whatever, that they are lessening the burden from you. In this case, the person was just causing much more stress. I was stressing out that they were saying that they couldn't find anything and they were going to work another 4 hours, and I told them no, and they insisted on it was just way too stressful. While I appreciate the extra effort, it was just super stressful. I would literally wake up to a text every morning saying, hey, I can't find anything, everything is terrible. That's just not what I need in the morning, or just in general. So I kind of decided to just start over. I'm doing it myself this time. So tonight I will be starting the interviews for that. So that's exciting. Things are starting to pick up again. I wasn't really buying that much. Probably only bought maybe like 25,000-ish last month. I think we already spent about 13,000 so far. We're only 10 days into the month, so that is awesome. Definitely was a little like, maybe you lost it, all that kind of stuff, but I was doing it all myself. I didn't have any virtual assistants or any assistants. So on top of everything else I do, definitely a little more challenging to spend kind of the 50K, 60K goal. Hopefully could do it this month. I'm really focused on opportunities. One of the biggest issues in the last 2 months is I lost one of the places I was spending probably 30% of my money. They banned me. It's just been a pretty big mess. Big lesson, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, one store, one brand, one whatever. Kind of got a burner account going that seems to be working. But in the end, I'm kind of just like, you know what? It's a blessing in disguise. It's not a wise idea to kind of just be shopping at the store or spending all the money at the store. But good to have it back. There's just some stuff that I will lean on it with, as I'm doing other stuff. One of the things that I probably learned, the biggest lesson I've learned, was it is really hard to switch from, I would say 75% of my business was probably apparel, probably closer to 80. And I wasn't really sourcing any apparel the last 2 months. Learning in new categories is awesome, but obviously very tricky. It took almost 1.5 years to really master the kind of apparel arbitrage I was doing. And now that, you know, it was a year and a half's worth of work. So now working on other stuff, or other categories, really looking at health and household, beauty, some grocery, pretty much anything is profitable. Still doing some apparel, mainly stuff I know that won't get returned. You know, no offense to the ladies, but mostly men's stuff. Just easy to source stuff that, yeah, doesn't get returned. Don't do any shoes, none of that kind of stuff. I will say I have been doing a lot more test buying out on weird Keepa charts. So there's been a couple of Keepa charts where it looks like there's only like maybe 10, or the estimate of sales is about 10. The chart is just kind of, you can see the rank going like this. The reviews are kind of going up a little bit. Probably should have like insert an example here, but I'm making this video in the car and I'm not gonna have time to get it to the editor. But instead of going by, oh, you know, Seller Amp says that it sells 10, you know, Keepa offers tab says it sells 5. Seller Amp is a great tool, by the way. If you want a free trial, link below. All estimates are just estimates, so I'm just throwing it out there. So I'm doing a test buy. So on this one item, it was pretty expensive. It was probably around $60 buy cost. Test bought 10, which was a little, probably deep for something with an estimate like that. Long story short, I am somewhat familiar with this brand. Never really found it arbitrage or like profitable, but in this case it was just totally lucky. I don't even remember how I stumbled across it. But long story short, I sold 10 in the last 2 days. So it just goes to show you it really pays to do a test buy, because now I just ordered 15. If that goes well, I'll probably order about 30 or 40, and kind of see how that goes, see where the top is on that. So yeah, that is kind of how that is going. Definitely have been buying a lot of supplement kind of stuff, which I don't necessarily like doing. The margins are good at them, but they're really hard to replenish. It's kind of like those Shopify sites where, you know, there's always like a 30% off code or stuff like that. So I've been doing that, but knowing that that stuff's not replenishable is not super exciting, but they're good for quick movers. And right now I'm just trying to find stuff that sells well, get a quick profit going, so I could find other sustainable kind of replenishable stuff. One of my biggest replens as well, another thing, it's not all rosy all the time, guys, has been out of stock for like the last 4 weeks. Hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on some more of it when it does come in stock. Probably gonna be about by like 300 or 400, or pretty much as much as I could buy. So yeah, just trying to wait for that. And yeah, just in the meantime, just doing a lot of test buying stuff I normally wouldn't buy. This is not, this is what I'm doing. So this is not advice to you. This is what I'm doing, but I'd highly recommend, depending on how much you have to spend or your risk tolerance, maybe test buying 3 to 5 units of stuff. For me, I'm kind of at the point where I'm doing like 10, 12, 15 units, depending on price and what the Keepa looks like. But a lot of stuff out there I'm starting to learn where the Keepa chart I would normally pass over, or the brand I would normally pass over, is really selling well and for very profitably. And I think that is a moat in itself. Everyone talks about, you know, building moats around your products, you know, try to get stuff on sale, get discounted gift cards, use store rewards, all that good stuff. And all that's really great, but maybe in my mind, the ultimate moat is buying on Keepa charts that don't look as appealing as a normal Keepa chart. A lot of this stuff that I'm test buying is over 100K, 150, maybe even 200. Obviously, depending on the category, that might not be as bad for some stuff. For example, maybe, you know, 150K in beauty isn't terrible. You could still probably move. Like, it probably still sells, excuse me, 40, 50, just really depends. You know, maybe that in, I'm trying to think of another category, like, I don't know, musical instruments or something, or like scientific stuff that has a very smaller amount of products, that would maybe sell like 3 or 4 times a month. So just kind of knowing that stuff. So yeah, doing that, really using Keepa Product Finder a lot more. That has been probably one of the main things I've been focusing on lately. Definitely gonna make some videos on that for you guys. Hopefully, I know I've said this a couple times, I will be able to get everything back on track with the YouTube channel. Just a lot going on. Unfortunately, the Amazon business, not unfortunately, but that has to just come first, and that is, you know, I had 2 VAs, and which allowed me to do a lot of the YouTube, but now I'm kind of ramping up again, trying to get a VA. Once I kind of get that situated and get some help, it'll definitely be easier to make more content for you guys. If you have any content suggestions, drop them below. What else is going on? So yeah, just doing a lot of Keepa Product Finder. We'll get you videos on that. And yeah, just really test buying a lot of stuff. This is the final week for the second round of the boot camp students. That's exciting. We had a great group. This will be the last week for that. I love doing that. It's super fulfilling. So that is cool. I can't wait to see kind of the success stories that come out of that. Me and Michaela launched, or soft launched, not super launched yet, Amazon FBA Happy Hour, which is every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's live on the YouTube channel. We've had a couple guests so far, but basically the gist of it, it's Q&A every Friday. You can come, ask us questions, we answer them live. Sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. Last week we had Chris Grant. We could probably get a lot of the people who spoke at Miami Sellers Conference. So we'll definitely be getting in touch with those people. The free Discord surpassed 1,000 members. So that is awesome. If you're in there, thank you for being in there. If not, get in there. Doing some big changes. We are having a big giveaway for surpassing 1,000. So definitely make sure you're in there to be eligible for that. We got a free year of SellerAmp. We have 2 free IP alert subscriptions, I think, and something else, and we're working on a couple other things, so that's exciting. But yeah, just been super busy, really working on the business, the Amazon business, and in it at this point, just trying to get a sourcer slash assistant slash whatever to kind of get things up and rolling, and then I could focus on making more content for you guys. Again, if you have any suggestions, drop them below. I hope everything has been going well with you. Let me know what's going on in the comments, any feedback, anything going on, any questions you have, and I'm happy to answer them. And I will see you guys in the next video.